Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Thrift. We are now in Ginza and we continue our search for a rangefinder camera in Tokyo. Our place that we'll be going today is called Lemon Ink Camera here in Ginza, Tokyo. Of course, it is not hard off or any second-hand place. It's quite a premium place if you ask me. According to Google, most of the camera here are well maintained and can be a bit expensive. So let's get in and look for a rangefinder camera if we are lucky enough. So I am introduced with these DSLR, but I'm not interested in any digital camera. I'm looking for a film camera, not really SLR in particular. Again, I already own SLR, but if there's one SLR that I'm willing to probably spend money on is this thing called Pentax or the Olympus. So far I couldn't find any Pentax around, kind of, but I did find Olympus here. So these are the digital camera, which I'm not really interested in because I already own a mirrorless Fujifilm back home or in my pocket right now as I'm filming this video. So here we have the film camera and I kind of found the Olympus or the Pentax, one of them. I found Pentax ME, not the super one. That's right, I forgot to mention I was kind of interested in the super. These are the very cheap camera model of the Pentax, the Asahi one, where you can find in eBay. That's the Pentax that I was looking for, but I'm not so sure if I'm confident enough to buy them. And here are the heaven of all heavens, the Leica camera. Don't worry, you can film videos here because the camera, there's a notice say you can film here. You can take pictures too. These are the bar neck Leica, which not really piqued my interest. So these are the rangefinder, the Nikon rangefinder or the Leica, because I couldn't see what the description is because I'm looking at a 1080p video right now. These are the Nikon, no, these are the Leica clone, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. No, we are not buying Leica, although maybe someday I might buy a Leica. Look at the beautiful looking design. There's Leica M240, there's Leica 11, there's Leica M6, there's M7 I found, and of course most of them are expensive. The Leica R looks really nice too, but of course I'm more interested in the M series of Leica. Too bad they are too expensive despite being used. These are of course well maintained and Leica lasts a lifetime. Look at the beautiful Leica M7 and an M6 and all the way down to, there's a Voigtlander too and a Bessa with the rangefinder on top. I'm not really liking it. And here's the M6. Look at how beautiful it looks. Oh my goodness, most of this camera I would like to buy. Even the M3 I kind of want to buy. And the TLR, which I already own back home, but these are better than the one that I've owned. I own the Ricoh? I don't remember the TLR I've bought back in M Corp Mall back in Kuala Lumpur. But these are better TLR. And then the very old I don't know, shotgun camera looking things. No, I'm not interested. No, none of this interests me. I'm not looking for SLR. Sadly, the only rangefinder I found very beautiful and interest me but not really tempt me are the Leicas. And here are some other rangefinder, and I'm look at my mask. I'm ruining my videos with this stupid mask. I should have cut this footage. Anyway, sadly, no camera for me. Let's move on to Akihabara, where they're too hard off, from what I recall. Of course, during the time of this, during the recording, I was feeling uneasy because I need to use the restroom. Where is the toilet? Because I really need to pee. But don't worry, we found the hard off, but not toilet. Let's just scroll through around this hard off. The first hard off of Akihabara. And of course, there are no toilets in this area for some reason. It's really hard to find toilet. I want to pee in the one of the restaurant, but I don't want to trouble anyone, so I'll just have to hold in my piss. So these are what we could find in the heart of Akihabara. Of course, I forgot I was looking for a PlayStation 4 controller, a spare. I'm not sure if this one works. I should have bought the PlayStation 4 controller back in Mount Fuji area of Hardov. Such a shame we couldn't go back there. This is one of those fret thingy that my brother mentioned. It's quite cheap. He's interested in them. It's one of those music related things. Of course, this Hardov is suitable for him because there are more musical instrument section. But for me, I need to pee.
The toilet.
Well, I have to borrow one of the toilets in one of the hotels in one of the places in Akihabara. Now I feel much better. Of course, we have to get back into looking for a camera, junk camera, maybe a little Pentax, ME Super, or the Olympus, who knows, or a lens for my Nikon back home. Anyway, let's go back to the junk section or the top floor. Not really junk section, these are still the musical instrument. A heaven for my brother who is a musician, and well, I don't think he's going to buy any of this musical instrument because he's still contemplating on whether to spend his yen on them, whether he can afford or can they fit in his luggage. Who knows? So here are the musical instrument section for those audiophile or musician out there. Sadly, I'm not a musician and I'm not a music enthusiast. It is for him. But as for me, these are the section I'm more interested in, the junk section. Sadly, of course, there are more tourists and people here compared to the ones in Fuji. Because in Fujikawa Guchiko, it's more of a warehouse than a shop lot. These are shop lot and the space are small. It's too cramped for everyone. So here are the audiophile section. They sell record, they sell speaker, they sell monitors, and they even sell the old phones, I think. Well, speaking of old phones, here are the old smartphone. Or is it Walkman? Well, one of the watches kinda interests me because I was also looking for a Seiko old Seiko watch. No, they don't sell it here. Well, they do, but they are expensive. There's another place called Mode Off. That's where you can find most of the watches, especially old ones. Well, these are not really interest me. They're watches, they're speaking of phones, here they are. I don't know. I kind of interested in the Japanese only brand like the Docomo, probably Sharp. I do find a vertical battery grips. Not sure which one is this for. I don't need them because I already own a Fujifilm X-T2 battery grip. And here are some more phone. A little bit expensive compared to the one back in Koenji, or was it Nakano? The last hard off that we went. Kind of expensive, I couldn't afford them, but they do look nice, good as new. Back to the junk section. This is the basement, and unfortunately, there are more people here. How annoying. It gets more and more later. I am so claustrophobic from all these people. But anyway, sadly, I couldn't find any camera stuff here. Mostly junk. Well, literally, they are junk for other things. Not camera junk, but computer junk. I do love computer, but I'm not building an old or new one right now. Here are some printers for those who are interested in printing stuff. And well, at least someone buying something. Good for the heart of this section. Too bad it's too small. Let's move on to the second hard off in Akihabara. Hopefully we can find cameras here or buy one. My brother mentioned that there's this Google thing. I'm not sure what it is. I haven't Googled it. Well, yeah. It's very cheap. Good for those who loves Google stuff. Here you can find Google stuff too, and some hardwares. You can find graphic cards too. Really good. Here's some watches, but they are psycho, but rather expensive for my spending need. Anyway, let's take a look at the console or the gaming section. You get the Switch, $300, and then we got the old Game Boy. Kinda looks a little expensive. There's a Tamagotchi looking things, Wii U, some Switch, Nintendo 64. I know this game. It's one of those Kong-like games that AVGN plays in James and Mike Mondays a long time ago when they were good. Old phones once again, a little bit expensive, and I find some of these phones where you can find them back home, so that's why it's not really interest me. There's Asus, there's Xiaomi, there's phone. Oh, I do find this really interesting looking gaming handheld thing. Can it run Steam stuff? I'm not sure. There are GoPro. He didn't list out which one, but if you know the model, probably GoPro 8, 9, 11, 5, and some all digital camera. Onward to the junk section at the basement, of course. And of course, more people. Such a shame. And some more phone. These are way older and pretty much cheaper. There's old Japanese phone too, and some old iPhone and PlayStation controller. A little bit expensive, and a nice looking Game Boy. The first Game Boy edition, the $55. Again, I'm not gonna repeat myself why I keep saying dollars, but it's $55, right? Not US dollar, just put a decimal point there. Yes, yen, I get it, sure. But to make it easy, here are the listing for Docomo. I found Docomo $22. The camera. Well, we have the super cheap Asahi Pentax, of course, Nikon, the Olympus OM1, but it's $55. A little bit too expensive for me. Without the lens, I don't think it's worth it. Well, I do find some junk camera, a video camera, and a handy cam. Well, of course, it doesn't come with the batteries. You can't test. Well, you can't test it. Sorry, but it does look nice. Sorry, I'm not really enthusiast for these video cameras, especially the one from the 90s or the early 2000s, but they do look cool. Like this Handycam Pro Video 8. If I own one, people might think I'm from the 90s. A really cool looking camera. And I also found a Super 8 camera. Oh, it's from Sony. The viewfinder works surprisingly, and there's a battery. See, it includes, but I'm not sure if they charge it well, or is the camera well serviced or maintained. It's a junk section, so it is sold as is. No guarantee it will work. So let's go look at this telescope binocular looking thing. Uni-binocular, I'm not sure. It works. A little bit fungus or hazy. And some more camera. The Super 8 camera. Wow. I would like to buy one, but unfortunately in our country, I don't think they developed the Super 8 film. So what's the point of me spending money for this? Oh, that's right. For a novelty reason. Not really for doing, for using, just for view. Deco. Let's go find something. Oh, I do find an SLR, a Minolta, which was one. Well, now it's Sony, but it's still a good Minolta. It works, I guess. Not really anything interesting. This is the point and shoot winding camera, very old. You need batteries for it to work and function. Nothing much else. No rangefinder in this section. I mean, of course, it's young. Who wants to sell rangefinder? Well, there are actually, because I saw on YouTube people do sell rangefinder in the junk section. Unfortunately, that day when we record this, there are no rangefinder. There's an expensive one, but not really to my liking, because I'm not interested in any of the rangefinder that's on display. There's watch, there's lens, there's kit lens, but not the lens I'm looking for. Not the Nikon f1.4. Such a disappointing heart of. Both of them are disappointing for me. Let's move on to a proper camera store. Where is it at? Still in Akihabara, and it's called the Second Base. Everybody knows this place for being a heaven, kind of sub-heaven for film camera enthusiasts like myself, of course. This is the inside of the Second Base place. It is underneath the trainway, the Yamanote line train rail things. So it's considering that it's underneath, I don't feel the shakes from the train. It's a really nice place and very classy at that. This is considered as one of my favorite camera shop now because, well, I'm gonna spoil some parts because they do sell rangefinder and at the junk section too. When I watched this video in editing, I noticed there's film gachapon. I kind of wish I've played the gachapon because you get to have a film camera inside. It's a black and white film, but it's $10, so I'll pass. Anyway, here are the junk section. I did find Pentax. Not sure if it works or not. You need the battery, of course. And of course, it doesn't come with a lens, so what's the point? So here the lens section. I did find the Nikon f1.4. A little bit expensive though. This section is the damaged lens section. Still expensive, but not that bad. I did explain to my brother that the reason these are damaged because they have fungus, there's a haze, scratches and marks. Still a good camera though. I mean lens, I'm sorry. But again, these are damaged. Can be used. Probably the aperture can be stuck or any reasons that you know about lens faulty. And here are the good lens. Of course not the best, but it's better than none. The 120mm film, what do you call it, medium format. I can't afford them because they're too expensive. On this side of the Second Base section are the point and shoot digicam. I mean old point and shoot camera. Very tempting, but a little bit too expensive for me. And then of course the rare find. Oh my god, they have the Bessa and they even have the Rolei. Oh my goodness, I couldn't see it properly. It's the Rolei 3T, the one with the T. A bit expensive, but oh, of course, my heaven, Leica. The Barneck Leica and the Leica M. Of course they are expensive, so let's go find the cheaper version of Leica. These are the SLR, not really my interest, but there's one camera that kind of looks familiar. Not this one, but I'm pretty sure King James would love these. The DG point and shoot. No, not DG, I'm sorry. Point and shoot. And then this one. I've seen a recent episode of Grainy Days. Jason did use that camera with the orange coloring. And then I did find the Pentax, but not the ME version, not the ME Super as well. The MV, I think. Not really my interest. But then again, some of these cameras are really nice looking. Very small. Apparently there are more small cameras out there, not only Pentax, because the reason I'm interested in Pentax in the first place, forbid being small. And here are the rangefinder. Not only a rangefinder, but a cheap rangefinder. One of them really piqued my interest, and I almost wanted to buy it. It cost $55, which is 5,500. I just call it 55. It's quite cheap. It's the Konica S2. I don't know. Well, it's like a threaded mount. It's really interesting, and it's not the bottom plate film loading kind of camera. It's one of those back ones, not the bottom one, which I'm not really a fan of the bottom ones, and I'm tempted to buy it. There's this one that's a Japanese version of Leica. It's called Leotax. It really looks like a Leica camera, the bar neck ones, but unfortunately it's one of those bottom loading ones, and I am not interested. I do want it though. That's what's stopping me from buying it. This one, I'm really tempted to buy it. $55. That's okay, not US dollar. I have to repeat myself before people start yelling at me. But this one is really affordable. It doesn't comes with a lens, but again, so tempting. And well, those are the Nikon rangefinder. Nikon rangefinder are too expensive. Nice design, all square and sharp edges. And then these are the I was looking for a Pentax lens for the Pentax ME that I found just now, but unfortunately most of these lenses are a bit expensive. Although I did find the Helios, the Russian M39 mount lens, expensive still. Also, I did found the Nikon f1.4, but I have to pick one, only one, whether to buy the lens or the rangefinder. This is one of those Pentax lens. I was looking for Pentax for the Pentax camera, of course. Then it didn't interest me, sadly. Not because it's cheap, it's because that is not the point I come here. I come here to look for a rangefinder. Do I really want to buy the Konica? Now it's starting to be very quiet because people have left, and it's just me and my brother who remains in the shop. These are what interests me, the Bessa, but I couldn't afford them. So let's go back to the Leotax, the Konica, the other rangefinder. This one. I'm not sure if it's a good camera or not, but who cares? It's a rangefinder, and it's I don't know. If they sell Canon P or any of the Canon rangefinder, be it the 5 or 7, I will buy them in a heartbeat. But now, no impulse buy. Look at the face of disappointment. I almost wanted to buy that Konica. Well, maybe someday, but not tonight. No rangefinder for me. Well, I'll see you guys in the next video.